Tonight we go inside a world few ever see. China's women's prisons. These are places shrouded in secrecy, rarely glimpsed by outsiders, and often misunderstood by the public. Hidden behind high walls and layers of security, these institutions reflect not just the justice system, but the resilience and endurance of women under extreme pressure. Here, every day is a test of willpower and adaptation. This is more than a story of crime and punishment. It's about mothers, daughters, and sisters navigating a harsh, controlled environment. Their lives are shaped by strict routines, constant surveillance, and the struggle to maintain their sense of self. The reasons for incarceration are complex, ranging from theft to violent crimes, often rooted in poverty, desperation, or histories of abuse. Many women arrive here carrying heavy burdens from their past. Once inside, women face a system focused on reform through labor, aiming to reshape their behavior and thinking. Days are filled with repetitive tasks, strict discipline, and little room for personal expression. But what does that mean for their identity, when every minute is controlled and every action monitored? The challenge is not just physical but deeply psychological. Official reports show order and rehabilitation, but first-hand accounts reveal psychological pressure, grueling labor, and a constant struggle for dignity. Many women find small ways to resist or support each other. By piecing together these stories, we reveal a more nuanced reality, one where hope and despair coexist, and where bonds of friendship can be a lifeline. We'll explore daily routines, strict rules, and the emotional toll of long-term incarceration. Every day brings new challenges, but also moments of resilience. This is a journey into a closed society where survival depends on resilience, quiet strength, and the ability to adapt to a world with few choices. It's a world easy to ignore, but it holds vital lessons about justice, hope, and the human spirit. These lessons challenge us to look beyond the walls and see the people within. The stories of these women matter. Tonight we tell them, giving voice to those who are so often unheard. Picture a city of concrete and steel, an isolated world, cut off from the rhythms of ordinary life. This is the reality for women in China's prisons, where daily existence is shaped by the environment itself. Located in remote areas, these complexes are surrounded by high walls, barbed wire, and constant surveillance, making escape or even privacy impossible. The architecture is stark and unwelcoming, with muted colors, harsh lighting, and a monotonous, oppressive atmosphere that weighs on everyone inside. Cell blocks house 8 to 16 women, packed tightly together with little privacy or personal space, forcing them to adapt to constant proximity. Every action is observed, every conversation can be overheard as guards and cameras monitor every corner. Dining halls are purely functional, meals are eaten in silence, and outdoor time is rare, brief, and always confined to small controlled spaces. Workshops dominate the complex, filled with the constant noise of machines and repetitive labor, leaving little room for rest or reflection. Movement is strictly controlled. Women march in formation, their steps and schedules monitored at every turn, reinforcing the sense of regimentation. Barred windows and heavy locked doors reinforce the sense of confinement, making freedom feel impossibly distant. The environment strips away individuality, as uniforms and the removal of personal belongings constantly remind inmates of their status and loss of identity. Control and order are paramount, leaving little room for comfort, self-expression, or even a moment of solitude. It's a world designed to enforce obedience, where discipline is maintained through constant oversight and strict rules. In this environment, every aspect of daily life is shaped by the need for control, leaving little space for hope or individuality to flourish. The day starts before dawn with a blaring siren. No snooze button here. Inmates leap from bed, making blankets to military precision under watchful eyes. Roll call follows, each woman responding loudly to confirm her presence. Hygiene is rushed and communal, with cold water and no privacy. Uniforms erase individuality, and breakfast is a silent, utilitarian affair. Steamed buns, congee, pickled vegetables. Conversation is forbidden, the focus is on efficiency and discipline. After breakfast, inmates prepare for labor, sometimes attending assemblies to recite rules or sing patriotic songs. The morning routine is rigid, leaving no room for personal choice. Every action is dictated, timed, and monitored. The structure is relentless, setting the tone for the day. For many, it's a daily test of endurance and compliance. The system's control is total, and the real work is just beginning. The heart of prison life is the workshop, where the daily grind shapes every hour and every action. Here, reform through labor is not just a slogan, but a reality lived out each day. Inmates work long hours, 6 or 7 days a week, often 8 to 12 hours a day. The work is relentless, and the tasks are repetitive: sewing, assembling electronics, packaging goods for domestic use or export. Every movement is monitored, every minute accounted for. Pressure to meet quotas is intense. Supervisors enforce strict deadlines, and the pace rarely slows. Failure means punishment or loss of privileges, making the stakes high for every worker. Workshops are crowded, noisy, and poorly ventilated, leading to frequent health problems. The environment is harsh and unforgiving. Wages are minimal, barely enough for basic necessities. Many inmates struggle to afford even simple comforts. After labor, mandatory re-education classes focus on political ideology and prison rules, reinforcing the system's control. Inmates write self-criticisms and express gratitude to the state, rituals designed to shape thought and behavior. It's a form of psychological pressure that weighs heavily on the mind. The routine is exhausting, leaving little time for rest or reflection. Fatigue becomes a constant companion. The focus is on production and conformity, not rehabilitation. Individuality is suppressed in favor of efficiency. Dissent is stifled by fatigue and constant surveillance. For many, hope fades with each passing day. It's an endless cycle of toil and indoctrination, with little chance for change or escape. This is daily life behind bars, a world defined by routine, control, and the struggle to endure. Every aspect of prison life is governed by strict rules: how to speak, stand, even fold a blanket. Any infraction brings punishment, from loss of privileges to solitary confinement. Good behavior earns points, exchangeable for small comforts or sentence reductions. The system encourages inmates to monitor each other, breeding mistrust. Re-education is central classes, memorize slogans, and public self-criticism sessions. The goal is ideological conformity, not just obedience. Officials claim this reduces recidivism, but critics call it brainwashing. Inmates often perform loyalty for survival, not genuine change. The pressure to confess and conform is relentless. For many, it's a daily battle to maintain a sense of self. Discipline is both visible and psychological. The greatest hardship is isolation, cut off from family, children, and the outside world. Communication is censored and rare. Visits or privileges easily revoked. For mothers, separation from children is a constant ache. Healthcare is limited, and crowded conditions spread illness quickly. Nutrition is poor, and menstrual hygiene is a daily struggle. The physical toll is immense, but the psychological pressure is worse. Constant surveillance, rigid discipline, and forced self-criticism erode self-worth. Depression and anxiety are common, fueled by monotony and hopelessness. The point system fosters mistrust, making genuine friendships risky. Some women form bonds, but competition and survival often dominate. Navigating these dynamics is a daily challenge. The need for connection persists, but it's hard to fulfill. Survival requires immense inner strength. Even in strict confinement, women find ways to connect. Small gestures, a shared glance, a whispered word, a piece of food, become acts of solidarity. Limited recreation offers brief relief: a walk in the yard, a library book, or a rare movie screening. These moments break the monotony and sustain hope. Despite the system's efforts to divide, many women form deep supportive bonds, a surrogate family. They share stories, dreams, and advice, offering emotional lifelines. Family visits, though rare and monitored, are treasured. A brief meeting or a letter from home can renew hope and motivation. These connections to the outside world are vital. They help women endure, reminding them of life beyond the walls. In prison, even the smallest connection matters. The real story is the resilience of the women themselves. Some find purpose in meeting work quotas, gaining small control in a controlled world. Others use their skills, teaching, hairdressing, to help fellow inmates, preserving dignity and community. Many develop a dual consciousness, outwardly compliant, inwardly holding on to their true selves. Meditation, prayer, or memories become private refugees. This internal strength is a silent resistance. Hope for the future fuels survival, counting days, making plans, dreaming of reunion. For mothers, the thought of seeing their children again is a powerful motivator. These women endure years of hardship, driven by hope. Their stories are not just of suffering, but of survival. The human spirit persists, even in the darkest places. Resilience is their quiet rebellion, and it's what keeps them going. As we conclude, a complex picture emerges, one of control and resilience. The system enforces discipline and conformity, stripping away individuality. Physical and psychological hardships are immense, and separation from family is devastating. Yet, women find ways to survive, building support networks, protecting their inner selves, and holding on to hope. The reform through labor system raises questions. Is it about rehabilitation or control? Manual labor and indoctrination may not prepare women for life after release. Behind the statistics are real people, mothers, daughters, sisters, whose stories are complex and deeply human. Even in a system built for punishment, the need for connection and dignity endures. These stories remind us of the strength of the human spirit. They deserve to be heard, and their humanity must not be forgotten.